Hey World Changers, it's me, Miss McCarthy, with your Motivational Monday episode for the week. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the power of trying. Quick, don't forget to tap that like button and hit subscribe or follow so you're the first to know when I drop a new video. Guess what? It's Monday, and I hope that you were able to rest and recharge this weekend because now it's Monday. It's the start of a new week, and it's time for us to get ready to throw down our best. I know, Mondays, they get a bad reputation, right? For years, in fact, I dreaded Mondays until one day I realized maybe I dread Mondays. Maybe I'm stressed and sad and on Mondays because that's the message that I keep replaying in my brain. So one day I thought, what if instead I spend time being excited and pumped about Mondays because we get to kick off a new week? That's exactly what I did, and I tell you what, it changed my life. So I want you all to get this from a young age. The idea that Mondays, they can be amazing if that is the choice that you make. So let's go ahead and get ready by busting out our best power pose. So go ahead and stand up. Let's have our feet apart. Hands on our hips, shoulders back, looking like a superhero, and repeat after me. This is how I Monday. Awesome. So for a handful of episodes now, we've been tackling the lyrics to a theme song that I have for one of my math programs because I'm a math teacher for grades 3, 4, and 5. Now I've included a link to the entire song, but today we're just going to tackle this one part, okay? It goes like this. Try until it clicks. That's it. Try until it clicks. Try until it clicks. That's what we're going to talk about today. Imagine that you're sitting in a math class. You've just started a new unit with your class. Your teacher is breaking down the steps for something new that you've never worked on before, and you are completely lost and overwhelmed. You're sitting there with a blank sheet of paper. There's a problem on the board, and your teacher is about to move on. What should you do? The way I see it, you have two choices here. You can either try or you can avoid it.
Okay, but let's back up just a little bit.
Because it's true, sometimes math, especially when you're starting something new, it can seem really overwhelming in the beginning. For third graders, rounding can seem like there are a bunch of steps. For fourth graders, division with up to a 4-digit dividend can make you go, huh? And for fifth graders, when you start adding or subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, your work can take up what feels like the entire page. So I want to go ahead and just put this out here right now, okay? When you're starting something new with math or in life, if it seems confusing to you, please know there's nothing wrong with you, okay? It is completely normal and valid for you to feel overwhelmed in the beginning. That is okay. But it's what you do next that matters the most. Back to our two choices. Do you try? Or do you avoid it? Let's go back to that problem. Your teacher has just presented a problem on the board. You're sitting there with your blank sheet of paper, right? What would avoiding look like here? It would look like sitting there.
Not doing anything.
Then maybe your teacher moves on to the next problem and you're looking around seeing if there's anybody else that's confused like you. On the outside, you might just look like you're zoning out, but on the inside, your mind is probably racing with negative self-talk when you're avoiding something. You might be thinking,
I'm just not good at math. This is too hard. I give up.
That's negative self-talk. As the lesson continues, you probably slump into silence, doing everything that you can not to engage in the lesson. And you'd probably be sitting there just waiting for the lesson to finish. Now, does that sound like a good way to handle this? No! But we've all been there, we've all done it, we've all gone into this avoiding mindset mode. And that is definitely not the best way to handle this. So it's important to recognize when you do and then quickly switch over to trying. You see, the secret to conquering a new math skill is to keep trying until it clicks. Or in other words, trying until it makes total sense. So what does trying look like? Well, let's go back to the example. You're sitting there, confused with a blank sheet of paper and your teacher has just modeled how to solve this new type of problem. You're confused, and remember, that's okay. But what does trying look like in this situation? It looks like picking up your pencil and recording the journey that your teacher just took onto your piece of paper. And what if the teacher is getting ready to erase it? What should you do? Trying looks like raising your hand and asking for just a few more seconds to copy it down. So then your teacher moves on to the next problem in math. And this time you can compare the journey that your teacher took on the last problem to the journey being taken on this problem. Trying looks like focusing, paying attention, engaging in the lesson, trying to make sense of it. And maybe you understand the beginning of what your teacher is doing on the board, but then, there it is. This is the part that you don't understand. This is the part that doesn't make sense. So what should you do? Raise your hand, right? And ask and say, this is the part that I'm confused about. Can you show me how we got from here to here? And I know some of you might be thinking,
Well, my teacher doesn't let us ask questions during the problem. We have to wait until the end.
as a teacher, I've been there too. Sometimes you just need to get through the problem and then go back to ask questions. So if you have a question at a certain step of a problem, try this little tip of putting a little star or a smiley face next to the part of the problem that you are not understanding. That way, when your teacher finishes modeling the problem and asks for any questions, this is the point where you can raise your hand, go back to where you marked on your paper on your journey, that this is where you need help. And remember, make the marking really quick because you want to get back in there. You might even be able to answer your own question as you follow along with the steps. Don't go into avoiding. Try by engaging and by focusing. If you aren't able to ask in class, you can always ask a friend or a family member or somebody else, another teacher, to help you. Trying is the key to unlocking your true potential. So rise up, activate your bravery, and be somebody who has the courage to try. And then keep trying until it clicks, not just in math, but in life. And when it does click, that's when you have this glorious light bulb moment where you're like, oh, I understand it.
Oh my goodness, I get it.
It's the most incredible feeling, y'all. So keep trying until it clicks. That's your takeaway for today, to keep trying until it clicks.
Try until it clicks. Make sure that it sticks. Working at it constantly is my secret.
Again, if you're interested in listening to the entire Taking on the Best theme song, that link is below. And just in case you didn't know, I am a math teacher for grades 3, 4, and 5, and I am on a mission to make math fun, make it click, and make it stick for 3rd graders, 4th graders, and 5th graders. So if you know that you need some help with math, I would love to be a part of your journey, and you can go ahead and get to mccarthymathacademy.com. That link is below to find out more. I've got a ton of videos just for you to help you through your journey. And a really cool part about having video lessons for you is that if you don't understand something at first, you have the power of the rewind button. And you can rewind it and watch it again until it clicks for you. All right, world changers, before we go, let me remind you that you were born with something special. And it's your job, your mission while you are here, to figure out what that is and then use that to make this world a better place. And yes, I'm talking to you. I'll see you next time, world changers.